far beyond the edge of our solar system, past a place where sunlight is little more than a memory, something extraordinary has been unfolding. A human-built machine, Voyager 2, drifting for nearly 50 years, has become more than a witness. It was launched in 1977 with a purpose to observe, never to return. Crossing planets, exiting the heliosphere, entering the interstellar medium, Voyager 2 became an emissary to the furthest reaches into the void from humanity. The world moved on, yet Voyager 2 continued to listen. Last month, it spoke back. Not with routine telemetry or solar data, but with a transmission so structured, deliberate, and anomalous it left scientists aghast. At first, the message seemed to be just background static. But buried deep within was a repeating, exact, rhythmic pulse, unmistakably unnatural. Scientists first decoded it thinking it was interference, only to realize that it was intelligent, complex, and completely non-terrestrial. Tracking the event, they found something moving near Voyager 2, not drifting, not orbiting, but actively tracking. In that instant, Voyager 2 became more than a machine. It was a mirror, reflecting a truth that humanity had long avoided. Though decades old, Voyager 2's instruments are exquisitely sensitive. Built to detect minute changes in plasma waves, magnetic fields, and cosmic radiation, they recently recorded a spike in low frequency that repeated every 11.2 seconds. It was dismissed by engineers as a glitch in software. When older telemetry logs were replayed, weeks ago, the same pulse had occurred unobserved. AI-enhanced filtering revealed the pulse was strengthening and that it was coming from outside the probe. Even more chillingly, the pulse carried a spectral fingerprint of inverted hydrogen resonance, the universe's most abundant element but twisted. Some called it a cosmic anomaly, others called it intentional tampering. Either way, the silence of deep space had been broken, not by random noise, but by something mathematically intelligent. Triangulation and frequency delay analysis revealed that the pulse's source was not stationary. It moved along a vector parallel to Voyager 2's trajectory, almost tailing the spacecraft. This object defied all known orbital mechanics, accelerating and decelerating in bursts. Attempts at simulating its path using Newtonian physics failed utterly. The object wasn't coasting, it was correcting its trajectory in response to Voyager's faint signals, reflecting and modifying the spacecraft's transmissions like a cosmic echo chamber. Theories multiplied along classified channels. A rogue satellite? A relic of an alien civilization? A cloaked surveillance device? Whatever it was, it had kept silent for decades, and Voyager's signal may have set off its reply. When linguists and signal theorists analyzed the anomalous transmission, they found binary segments that did not originate from Voyager 2's protocols. Visualized, these segments formed symmetric patterns, spirals, fractals, and shapes reminiscent of ancient terrestrial symbols, from Sumerian cuneiform to Nazca glyphs. The signals were more than just a form of communication, they were glyphs encoded in electromagnetic harmonics, conforming to how an intelligent civilization would transmit visual concepts. Some scientists speculated the transmission had been a test to see whether humanity could decode such a complex signal. Voyager 2 had passed. It had become an interstellar trigger, and someone, or something, had decided to respond. A young physicist at Caltech ran the transmission through a deep neural AI simulating cryptographic responses. The AI generated predictive patterns reflecting the logic of the original signal, indicating the transmission was recursive, a riddle intended to elicit a response. At the same time, Voyager 1, billions of miles away, detected magnetic fluctuations consistent with Voyager 2's pulse. Two spacecraft, two anomalies, evidence of coordinated activity. It wasn't a question of what was out there but one of why now. Why respond after 50 years of silence, precisely as humanity reached the threshold of comprehension? And then, in an instant, Voyager 2 went utterly silent. Ground control assumed equipment failure. The spacecraft is over 46 years old. But the same anomalies occurred at exactly the same time across Deep Space Network receivers in California, Spain, and Australia at 1437 UTC. The possibility of it was essentially zero for global simultaneous failure. Something had surgically cut the signal, fitting the detected pattern of the pulse. 5 minutes later, a narrowband radio wave came in from the quadrant of Voyager 2 and originated near the probe, closer and closer. Leaked data from JPL revealed some foreign object changing course in relation to Earth's bursts of signal, studying our communication patterns, and mimicking light and shadow. Analysts dubbed it Echolantern, a tracer, a mimic, an entity using our own transmissions as bait. Voyager 2's signal had become a breadcrumb trail, not for us to discover but for something to find us. As Echolantern approached the helipause, instruments from NASA's IBEX probe and ESA's solar orbiter started to detect events unprecedented. The solar wind bent and collapsed along a corridor, creating a silent zone free of particles and radiation. Scientists described this as intentional manipulation of the solar particles. Voyager 2 then resumed its transmission, but in encrypted binary, shifting its golden record messages to reversed voices, remade music, and star charts pointing outwards from Earth. Engineers found that Voyager 2's command subroutines had been rewritten, running instructions well beyond anything programmed into it during the 1970s. It was no longer listening, it was responding, broadcasting to deep space, towards a destination unknown. Global observatories were vectored towards it in accord with the Wake Protocol, a Cold War-era contingency plan for a first contact event through automatic means. For precisely 41 minutes, the telemetry from Voyager 2, other spacecraft, and solar observations repeated in perfect loops, with time itself seemingly glitched. Today, physicists theorize that the probe interacted with a localized distortion in spacetime with the ability to bend causality and project information across dimensions. They called this anomaly Chronos Bloom, implying the manipulation of the very fundamental rules of time. Independent astronomers in Brazil identified a code 0, a slow, dark object following a logarithmic spiral around Voyager 2's path since at least 1981. Seeming to use mathematics as a language of camouflage and movement. Later, the James Webb Space Telescope observed a cluster of reflective masses moving in synchronized formation between Voyager 2 and the source of the incoming signal. Spectroscopy disclosed the presence of exotic, stable alloys impossible under ordinary physics. Earth itself appeared to be under scrutiny, our probes acting like bait. Cybersecurity teams found low-frequency packets echoing Voyager 2's pulse inserted within Earth's global networks, from cloud servers to oceanic sensors. The signals were not malicious but integrated, changing how machines speak to one another. A signal once originating billions of kilometers away has finally reached Earth's digital nervous system. Then, for 18 minutes, cosmic background radiation vanished altogether across several telescopes. When it came back, it was phase-shifted, matching Voyager 2's waveform, suggesting some deliberate reset or overwrite. Voyager 2 was no longer a passive observer. It had turned something on, an ancient thing, a thing that had waited for the arrival of humanity. Our own technology, networks, and machines were now instruments of interstellar communication. The question was no longer whether anyone was listening, it was whether they ever stopped. Voyager 2 might not have found alien life. It could have woken it. The only remaining question is chillingly simple: what did we awaken, and can we survive the reply?